No, I think I did it. Was it? Okay, we'll just take one more example of dynamic programming to just. This is a capacity expansion problem. I will take directly the problem and just try to solve it. The principle is same as we have to do by stage, and following the satisfying the constraints and formulating the state transformation equation from one stage to other stage. What will be the so capacity expansion problem. The problem is this: we have a city where a water supply scheme, okay, has to be extended for future, okay, for a city. So the existing capacity of water supply scheme, okay, how do we minimize the cost of increasing the capacity, okay, but at the same time meeting the constraints, okay. So the existing capacity of the scheme is, that means it is 100 units. This is already there, okay. So it has to be increased from 100 units to 200 units in a span of 20 years, okay. The additional capacity required at each of the 5 years, okay. The additional capacity required is 20 at the end of 5 years, 40 at the end of, this is 5 years. That means I should have 120 units in another 5 years by the, okay, and 140 units in another 10 years, then 160 units, another 60 at the end of 15 years, and another 100 at when I reach the 20 years. That means within 20 years I have the capacity has to be increased from 100 to 200, but it has to be in such a way that I should have a minimum of 120 at the end of 5, minimum of 140 at the end of 10, minimum of 160 at the end of 15, and 200 in another 20 years, okay. So the cost of the present worth of increasing this is basic like this: additional capacity this is discounted present worth, okay. So this is 0, 20, 40, 60, 80 and 100, okay. If the time period is between 1 to 5, that means the time period is I have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that is 0 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, and 16 to 20, okay. If I don't increase anything, it is 0. If I increase by 20 units in the first 5 years, the present worth for that is 120. If I 150, 200, 250 and 280, 0, 80, 110, 130, 150. This is the discounted present worth. Okay, it is 0, 60, 80, 100, 40, 50. Okay, so this is the table which is the present worth is given. Okay, why do we see that these values are coming less as I go from, as the time increases from 16 to 40, 20, it is 40, whereas if I do it 0 to 5, 120. Why is this? Can anybody think over it? Because if I want to increase 20 units after 15 years, okay, how much I should have now so that I can increase 20 units after 15 years? That will be less than what is required, because the present worth rate, that should be less than what I require to, because if I invest something, okay, let us say 40 units, okay, 40 units of money, okay, right now. So at the end of 15 years, I am expected that I will be multiplying it so that I will have sufficient money to increase this. But if I want to increase right now, okay, I have to spend that. So that's why these values, okay, basically I have some sense. It is not that they are just arbitrarily given. Okay, so now let us I have to come out with the best possible expansion, okay, capacity expansion strategy, such that the present worth of discounted present worth of expanding this, okay, is minimized. This is a minimization problem, okay, and but only the constraint is that, the constraint here is that, what is the constraint? The constraint is that I should have a 20 units of additional capacity at the end of 5 years, another 40 at the end of 10 years, 60, and at the end of 15 years, and by 20 years I should be having 20. So how can we solve it using DP? The same thing. So we just take it into 4 stages. Okay, so the stage 4, stage 4, stage 3, stage 2, stage 1. Okay, so this is basically present. Okay, this is after the 15 years, 10, 5 years, and at present. Okay, so now let me say I start from here. Okay, the storage available, I call this S4 as the storage available at the end of 15 years. What are the possible values of storage I can have? S4 is the capacity or the storage, or what can I say, the capacity, okay, at 15 years. What are the possible values I can have? I have to increase it in units of 20. Okay, that is also there. Okay, I cannot increase it by 10 or so. So what are the possible values of S4 at the end of 15 years? What is the minimum required?
Sir, 0 and 20.
Huh? Sir, please speak.
Sorry, 100.
I should have 160, because at the end of 15 years,
Yes,
I should have 160. or what are the other values I can have?
Greater than 160.
Yeah, greater than 160. That means I can have 180 units. That's good. I have more than what is required. Or I may also have 200 units.
200.
If I had developed fully, okay, so I may get 200 units by the at 15 years itself. So what will be the table now? If I put S4 as this, S4 is the possible values of 160, 180 and 200. If S4 is 60, what will be the, how much I should do to get 200? What should be the X4? That means basically X4 is the capacity which I have to expand. How much?
40.
It will be 40, isn't it? Oh, 40, what is the cost of X4? For getting 40 units, how much I should have right now at present, the money I should have from this table? How much is that? If I have to expand 40
50.
units at the end at 15 years, what should be its present worth from
50.
this table?
50.
Hello? Are you able
50.
to see this table? So which value I have to pick it up from this table?
Sir, 50.
50. This one, because if I have to increase the discounted present worth of increasing 40 units at the end of 15 years is 50. That means if I have 50 units now, okay, so that will multiply and I will get such an amount which would be enough to increase the capacity by 40 units. So I have to take this 50. Okay, so you fill that. So this will be 50. Okay, so we get F4 of S4, which is and X4 star. So 50. So F4 of S4 is 50. Your X4 star is how much? 40. There is no other way. If I have 180, what will be X4?
20.
I have 180 units at the end of 50, but I have to get 200 units. Okay, so it will be 20. Okay, what is the present worth for that?
40.
40.
40.
40. So it is 50. If I have 200, there is no need to increase anything. So this is 0, 0, 0. Okay, this is 1. Okay, so now come to the second stage, that means S3.
Sir, X4 dash should be unique value, I think.
What? X4? Please tell me.
X4 dash, X4 star should be
Uh.
unique value. Means maximum of X4.
No. Here actually this is ending here only. If I have 160, I have to increase it by 40. Here you don't have this 180, 20 and 40. This basically this is X4. You have to put one more actually this.
We are already given.
This is x4, this is x4 star. This is nothing but 40, 20, 0. When I come to S3, I will tell you what you have to do. Okay, where you will get that maximum. Okay, now let us see S3. S3 is basically the capacity available at the end of 10 years. Okay, so S3 is, so what are the possible values of S3 we can have?
So 140 to 200.
140 to
200.
200. That means I can have 140, I can have 160, or I can have 180, or I can have 200, isn't it? So now let us write 140. Okay. What are the possible values of x3 I can have? X3 is the additional capacity which I will be increasing in that particular between 10 to 15 years. What are the
20, 40,
possible?
60.
Huh?
20, 40, 60.
20 and 40, 20 I have to do it because at the end of 15 years I should have 160. So 20, or I may increase it to 180 also, or I may increase it to 200. Okay.
Yes.
Then C3 of x3. What are the values? C3 of x3, if you go to that, okay, so that will be 160, 60, 80, 100. I am just putting it from the table. 60, 80, 100. Okay, this is C3 of x3. What will be S4 now?
S3 plus X3.
Exactly, S3 plus x3. Very good. Which is 160. That means if I had an existing capacity of 140 at the end of 5 years and I increase it 20 units in between 10 to 15 years, so at the end of 15 years I will be having a capacity of 160. Okay, so and here how much? I will have 180 and it will be 200, isn't it? Okay, then what is F4 star of S4 for this? If it is 160, it is 40. Okay, it is 20 and it is 0, isn't it? Sorry, it is 50, 40, 0. I have to put 50, 40. This is F4 of S4. Sorry. $50, 40 and 0. So now F3 of S3 will be equal to C3 of X3 plus F4 star of S4. Okay, so how much I will get? 60 plus 50, 110, 120 and 100. Okay, so what is F3 star of S3? Harshal, you will get here F3 star of S3 and I will have X3 star here. What is F3 star of this thing?
120.
Minimum I
Oh,
have
sorry,
to take.
100, 100.
Okay, 100, isn't it? So 100. So the corresponding to 100, what is X3? What is X3?
60.
60. That means if you have a 140 units at the end of 10 years, better you increase it by 60 so that the present worth will be this much. Okay, so now let us come to what is the other problem is 160. If it is 160, What are the possible values?
So 0 to 40.
0 to 40. I may not increase. I may increase by 20. I may increase by 40. Okay. So if you do this, I am just giving the values, please. 0, 20, 40, 0, 60, 80. C3 of x, 160, 180, 200. Nine. Am I correct? Yes, 4 will be same. Okay. So 50, 40, 0. Total is 50, 100, 80. 50, 100, 80. Okay. So I get 50. This is 0. Okay. So now if I have 180, what are the possible values of x3? 0 and 20, isn't it? So 0 and 20, the values is 0 and 60. Okay. 180, 200, 40, 0, 40, 60, 40, 60. So you have 40 and 0. Okay. So if you have 200, this is 0, 0. You have 200 here, 0, 0, 0, 0. Is this clear? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now come to S2 here. What are the possible values of S2, the existing capacity? I can have S2 can, what values S2 can take?
120 to 200.
120 to
120 to
200.
120, 140, 160, 180 and 200. Again you plot, you just make a table for S2. You will have X2, okay, C2 of X2. Okay, so what is S2 is 120. If it is 120, what is the possible values of X2? What is the minimum I should do?
So 20, 40,
20,
60,
40, 60
40,
and 80.
and 80.
Okay. So for this, C2 of X2 is 80, 110, 130 and 150. Okay. Then S3 will be S2 plus X2, which is this 140, 160, 180 and 200. Then I have to get, what is that? F3 star of S3, okay, which is, you have to get it from this table. From this table you have to get, for if S3 is 140, this will be 100. Okay, so if it is 160, it is 50. So this you have to bring it here. Okay, so that will be 100, 100, 50, 40 and 0. The total will be this and this. So this will be F2 of S2. Okay, so that will be 180, which is nothing but F3 star of S3 plus C2 of X2. Okay, so that is 180, 160, 170, 150. So I will have F2 star of S2, which is minimum is 150. And what about X2 star? X2 star is 80.
80.
Okay, this is the minimum. Okay, so now let us make, if I have 140, what are the possible values?
0 to 60.
Exactly, 0, 20, 40, 60. Okay, the cost is 0, 80, 110 and 130. Okay, so S2 will be 140, S3 will be 140, 160, 180 and 200. The corresponding values are 100, 50, 40 and 0. Okay, corresponding values here 100, 130, 150, 130 and minimum is 100. Okay, so 0, minimum is 100, so S2 is 0. Okay, and what else we have? 160. If I have 160, what are the possible values? 0,
0 to 40.
0 to 40. Yes. So 0, 80, 110. S3 will be 160, 180, 200. These values are 50, 40, 0, 50, 120, 110. Okay, 50, again 0. Okay, so then we have 180. What are the possible values? 0 and
0
20.
to 20.
Yes, so 0 and you have 80. This will become 180, 200 and this will be 40, 0, 40, 80, 40, 0. Okay, so this completes the second stage. Now the first S1. What is the possible values of S1 here? Is 100. This is what I have.
100.
So I have only S1 is 100. So what are the possible values of X1? I can increase it by 20, or I can increase it by 40, I can increase it by 60, 80, okay, or 100. That means I can increase right away 100 units.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Sir, why aren't we considering 200 as the value of S2?
200.
Why aren't we considering the value of 200 for S2?
S2.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, sir. I have missed that. You are correct. Sorry. I have to add one more here. Thank you. Thank you. If I have 200 for S2, yes, it is 0, 0, okay, 200, 0, I missed that. You are correct. Okay, 0. It's okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
So what is x1? Then c1 of x1 is 120, 150, 200, 250, and 280. And now I will have S2, which is equal to S1 plus X1, which is 120, 140, 180, sorry, 160, 180, and 200. Okay, so now I should have S2 star of S2. Okay, if you for 120, I am getting as 150. You have to get it from the previous table. Okay, 100, 50, 40, and 0. Okay, so c1 of x1, this will be f1 of s1 is equals to c1 of x1 plus f2 star of s2, which is equals to 150, 100, 50, 40, and 0. Okay, f2 star of s2 is 40, 0. Then f1 star of s1 is how much? Did I do something wrong here? f2, I have to add these two actually. This is actually, this is the summation of this and this, which works out to be 270, 250, 250, 290, and 280. Addition of this c1 of x1 plus f2 star of s2, 270, 250, 250, 290, and 280. So f1 star of s star is what?
250.
Huh? There are two values,
250.
40 and 250. Yeah, sorry. F1 star of S1 is 250, and what is X1 star?
40 and 60.
40 and 60. Okay. So now tell me what will be the, how do I go about if X1 star is 40? Okay. S1 is 100. Okay. So what will be S2?
140.
140. Okay. For that 140, which is S2, okay, so what is the X2
0.
star? 0, isn't it? So I put it as X2 star as X2 star will be 0. Okay, so then what will be S3?
60.
140.
140 plus 0 because
140.
S2, so that will be 140. So what will be X3 star? So you have to
60.
go
0.
to S3 table. Okay, sir, it has become okay. What is S3 for 140? It got actually
60.
messed up. I just couldn't. S3 for 140 it is 60. Okay, X3 star is 60. Or something is happening to my board. Sorry, something happened. Okay. Okay, now it is looking better now for me. So when it is 140, it is 60. So X3 star is 60. So when S3 star is 60, what will be X4?
200.
200. Okay. So when for 200, what will be X4 star?
0.
0.
0.
0.
Okay. So this is one alternative. That means X1 star is 40. That means you increase the capacity right now by 40 units. Then don't do anything in the next 5 years. Then afterwards you increase it by another 60 and you don't do anything after 5 years. So this will be the one strategy where the present worth will be less. But if I take S1 as X1 star as 60, so what will be S2?
160.
160. For that 160, okay, what will be X2 star?
0.
0. Here I am getting. Okay. Okay, what will be S3 now? 160. What
Yes,
will
sir.
be X3 star?
0.
X3 star is also getting 0. Okay. Okay. And S4 will be
160.
just 1 minute. So X4 will be S4 will be S4 will be now 160. Okay, for that X4 star will be
40.
40.
40. So another strategy is X1 star is 60. That means you increase it by capacity by 60 units right now. Don't do anything in for another 10 years. At the end of 15 years, you increase it by 40. Okay, so these two strategies will cost you only 250, whereas any other uh, capacity expansion strategy will be costing you more than these two strategies. Here also you can see that dynamic programming can be very effectively used, okay, to solve such a complicated problem. Okay, so is this clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is how we can solve many multi-stage decision making problems. Okay, using dynamic programming, we can solve them very effectively. Okay, but the problem with this dynamic programming is that, okay, if I say how many of you can write a code for this? If I want to implement this using a computer code, how many of you can write this program? Now you people are mad about going for coding. How many of you can write code for this? Hello? Hello? If I give this as a tutorial problem, write a computer code for solving this particular problem, how many of you can write it? So this is where the challenge lies. It is not the It is not the challenge lies in not using the softwares. The challenge lies in developing the softwares, isn't it? How many of you can write? So let me, I will just give, there is no marks. Okay. If somebody can write and show it me, I will be very happy for this particular problem. Only one problem. You may submit by the end of this semester. There are no marks. If you don't want to write, no problem. Okay. There is no need. But if somebody can write it and send it to me, I will be very, very happy. Okay. So just you take this as an assignment. This is a voluntary assignment. Okay. There is no force that you should submit this, and there are no marks also for this. Okay. If somebody is really interested in writing codes, okay, so they may try this. Okay. All these dynamic programming problems, actually they require a lot of uh, thinking while coding these problems. Okay. So this completes our dynamic programming problems. Okay. Now before I go to the nonlinear optimization, okay, so I just we will just see I want to talk about simulation. Okay. Simulation is an alternate way of getting the optimal values. Basically what happens is, if the system or the problem is too complex, okay, it is very difficult to formulate an optimization problem and solve it. Okay. So in such a situations, we go for simulation. Basically what the simulation does is, does anybody know simulation? What is the meaning of simulation? Hello.
There are large number of input is given to the system and output is analyzed for the optimum solution.
Basically we want to, what this simulation does is that basically it will have an analysis problem. Okay. That means we know the how to do the analysis, but only thing is putting it or doing an optimization over it it may take too long, or it may be very cumbersome. Sometimes it may not be possible to optimize also to get the optimal values. So we go for near optimal solutions. Okay. So near optimal solutions we can get by subjecting our system to a different sets of, like, I may vary the parameters, I may vary the forcing functions, or I may vary the input. Okay. I may change the boundary conditions. Okay. So if I by doing all these things, okay, and I will be analyzing the problem, okay, for all these different scenarios, and I will be picking up, okay, the best possible among what are all the things I need to do it. Okay. So the problem with simulations is that, okay, that it takes a lot of time. Of course it avoids optimization. That is the main advantage. But the thing is, you have to do a repetitive way of, okay, doing the things. Sometimes what happens is, even the inputs, okay, they may not be deterministics, they may be random in nature. Okay. So like the rainfall, okay, I cannot take rainfall. Let us say I have a catchment. Okay. I want to know what will be the runoff. Okay. uh, for a different set. So basically the runoff is basically a function of the rainfall and also the catchment characteristics. Okay. So this rainfall itself is not constant, it will be deterministic. That means some years it may have a very good monsoon, you have very good rainfall, sometimes you do not have. Suppose if I want to predict or forecast, okay, basically I should know that how this, what is the pattern of rainfall, how it is changing with time. Okay. During monsoon, if you see the, if I plot the rainfall versus T, Usually in June it will up to June you will have almost no rainfall, but in June you may get little rainfall, and afterwards it will be getting the peak in August and September. Then it comes down. Okay, so then after November it becomes 0. Okay, so basically even in this, okay, so it is sometimes in some years it may be very high, in some years it may be less. So if I have to do this, we have to do some statistical analysis of these inputs, as well as inputs or the forcing functions, also the parameters which we use, okay, like the catchment parameters, okay, how is the vegetation, they also may change. Okay, so what we do is we do some how this rainfall is varying. Is it random, is it normally distributed, or is it following some other distribution? Okay, if rainfall is changing like this, let us say it is normally distributed, will the runoff be normally distributed? That is one question. Okay, so all such type of problems can be solved by using simulations. Okay, so before we take the simulation problem, so I will just try to have some 4 to 5 classes on the statistics or the probability distributions. Okay, so on random variables and the random processes. Okay, so I just want to know, first let us what is the difference between a normal experiment and a random experiment? Anybody knows? You would have done some random statistics, probability distributions, random numbers, random experiments. What is the difference between a random experiment and a ordinary experiment? Anybody knows?
The random experiment is one whose output cannot be determined before the experiment.
What?
I'm just guessing. An
Ah,
experiment
please tell.
whose outcome cannot be determined before the experiment.
Okay. But you know the output, what are all the possible outputs?
Yes, sir.
Then what is ordinary experiment?
Like we have an idea of what could be the output of that.
Basically, a random experiment is one. You are correct, actually. Very good. Okay. Random experiment is that basically in a random experiment, we know all the possible outcomes. Okay. So that means, let us say if I am tossing a coin, so what are all the possible outcomes I can have? Either I can have a head or I can have a tail. This everybody knows. I know the outcome. But the problem is, for a particular realization, if I toss a coin, I am not sure whether I will get head or whether I get tail. That means for a particular realization, particular trial, we are not sure what will be the outcome. But in an ordinary experiments, we know what is this. Okay. And one more characteristics of this random experiment is that if I increase the number of trials, if we increase the number of trials, what will happen? Let us say I do it this for 30 times or 40 times. Okay. The number of these possible outcomes will be reaching a particular value. What will be the, let us say out of 30 experiments, okay, where the number of heads which I will be getting will be tending to what?
Half.
Half. That means they will be going towards 15. You may get 14 or you may get 16, but it will be in and around 15, isn't it? Similarly, this one, if I made it, let us say 100 times, okay, what is the possible? So that means basically the outcomes will be reaching certain particular value, and if I make it as a probability, so it will be reaching a 0.5 and 0.5. Okay, but if I take only one experiment, if I get head, the probability of getting head is 1, because I have not got tail, so the probability of getting, so if I take one trial, for head it is 1 and it is 0 if head has turned up. Okay, but if I do 20-30 times, okay, the probability that I will be getting head is 0.5 and this is 0.5. Okay, so this is basically the characteristic of a random experiment. We know the possible outcomes, but for a particular trial we do not know what would be the outcome. Okay, but as the number of trials we increase, okay, so it will be tending into it. That means it follows some statistical distribution or some probability distribution. Okay, it depends upon what type of outcomes we have. Okay, so this is this is one, and another is, what is the difference between ordinary variable and a random variable? Does anybody know?
Random variable can take the value in the range that we know.
And what about ordinary variable?
Or we don't know about the range, means what range the value
What do
will
you
lie.
mean? This is not correct. Let us say I have x plus 5 is equals to 7. What is x value? What is this x value? 2. It is 2. Is this a random variable or a ordinary variable? I am 100% sure that x can have only 2. Isn't it? It cannot have any other value other than 2. Isn't it? Isn't it? Hello?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Basically, ordinary variable is one which has the probability of having that value is 100%. But whereas a random variable, it is always associated with a probability. That means I cannot be 100% that it will take this. What is the probability that this random variable is always associated with? I cannot say that 90% of the 90% I am sure that I will get this value. I cannot say that 100%. Let us say I have marks of a students, okay, in a class. Okay, so let us say this is 0 and this is 100, and these are the number of students, the fraction of the students which have got marks between 1 and 100. Okay, so how, if I take this, okay, so how many of students, okay, will get 50%? Anyway, I will just I will stop here. We will just continue this with, okay, in the next class. So tomorrow or actually Wednesday I may not take, but I will be taking it on Thursday 5 o'clock. Okay, 4 to 5. Okay. Wednesday I have one meeting on the same day because of this corona. Okay. So there is a meeting in the main building, so we have to be there. So but we will have the tutorials. I will be uploading one tutorial on dynamic programming today. Okay, so students who are having Wednesday 11 to 12, they have to attend. Anyway, the other batch which I am taking from 11 to 12 on Thursday, I will be taking that. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Tell me.
Sir, I joined the class a little late, so can you please mark my attendance?
Who are you?
So Meghul.
Megul Tyagi. Okay.
Sir,
Thank you.
sir, sir, same with Shubham Bhardwaj. I
Shubham
also joined a
Bharadwaj.
little bit.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Who else? Okay. Then.
Thank you, sir.
Hello? Any other person joined late? Okay, we'll stop.